Hello guys, this booklet is we're going to talk about the second part of building. So by this point you should have already done the introduction part, and now we're going to focus on the other two icons here, which are the part of plan and the part of personal goal setting. So starting with plan, plan in terms of team standards is divided in four topics. So co-creating the team purpose is the first topic, which is where all of the people in the team are united by one purpose that connects them as a team. Then you set your expectations from you as a leader to the team, and then from the team to you. Understand better the goals and strategies, and then individualize these things, setting clear JDs and deadlines. So one important thing to realize when you're talking about plan in Isaac in Italy is that we are using 40X, which is the 4 disciplines of execution. 40X is a book also, and it explains how we can actually design plans that have clear goals and then are very executable, so that we can plan and execute in a very concrete way. So 4 things you need to know when we talk about the plans that are designed by 40X. The first thing is the WIG. Our WIG, which is our widely important goal, is our objective, so where we want to achieve. Something very important about the WIG is that it has to be very clear, and it has to have a A point and a B point. So I want to go from here to here. Then, when we talk about battles, the battles are the things I'm going to work for, the things I'm going to fight in order to achieve my WIG. The lag measures are the measures that I'm going to use, and these measures need to directly impact my battle. And the lead measures are other alternative measures that I'm going to use that are easier to impact, that are easier to influence, and that will affect my lag measure as well. So I'll give an example so it becomes easier. So our lag measure is the measure that directly impacts our battle. So in this image, it's the ball. So I want to lift the ball, so I want to increase my lag measure. And the lead measure is this bar that if I move this bar, which is easier than actually moving the ball, I'm going to be impacting on the lag measure, but in a more easier way. So in terms of structures, WIG is the widely important goal, is my main objectives. I have battles, which are the things that I'm going to fight, I'm going to strike in order to achieve my goal. To measure my battles, I use one lag measure and then 1, 2, or 3 lead measures that are going to make fighting for this battle easier. An example. I want to go from 73 kilos to 68 kilos in 3 months. This is my WIG. So it has a A point and a B point. In order to achieve this, I have 2 battles. My first battle is going to the gym. So how do I measure going to the gym? With my lag measure, which is the number of days I go to the gym per week. So this is a measure that directly explains if I am doing or not my battle. But I can go to the gym 10 times per week and I can stay 1 minute. Or I can go 10 times per week and I can do nothing. I can just stand there. So I have lead measures that are the things that I need to keep track of, and that are going to say if I am impacting or not my lag measure, if I am impacting or not my battle. So this is for the battle A. For the battle B, for example, is eat less. So I want to measure if I'm eating less or not by the number of calories I'm digesting. So this is my lag measure. My lead measures, for example, is the percentage of carbs that I have in my diet, the percentage of protein I have in my diet, and the percentage of fiber I have in my diet. So these are other things that are impacting my lag measure. This is very important. The lead measures need to impact in your lag measure and make you work for your battle, but are things that I can keep track on a more during less time when I am working. So this is very important for us to understand what is our plan about. When we talk about the steps again of the plan in terms of team standards, the first one is talking about the team purpose. So one thing about this part is that it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes when you think about team purpose, we think that it has to be, we have a we need to have a name and an identity, a symbol, a logo that defines our team, but sometimes it's much simpler than this. So you can have just something that unites your team and that everybody feels connected by. For step 2, so the expectations, is very important to understand what your team members expect from you as a leader. So people entered Isaac for different reasons, and it's very important to understand what they expect from this experience and then from you. But also, it's very important to align what you expect from them. So in terms of work, in terms of responses for your emails, in terms of updating tracking tools. So this is a very important moment to align how is going to be your work together. Also, the third part is to actually set the goals and strategies. So all of the areas already have a plan. So the important thing to do in this part is to make sure that all of the members understand the WIG of the area, what are the battles, lag and lead measures based on how we explain the 40X. In this moment, be very patient, because it's the first time most of them are talking about Isaac, are talking about our processes, are talking about our measures. So make sure that you're very simple when you are explaining and that the things that you're doing make sense for them. So I'll try to ask some questions in the end to try to see if they really understood and make sure they are very clear on these things. Because then the fourth part is to go and make it individual. So you have to connect their JD, so what is the description of their job, to the goals. So if I'm a member of sales, when I see the strategies and the goal for sales, I need to understand what is my part in terms of achieving this part, and then setting deadlines for the things that are going to be done in the next weeks. So by this point, everybody needs to be very clear on what are the next steps in terms of work and understand what they need to achieve. Because in the other part, which is the personal goal setting, we will set goals for development and for functional work. So we have 2 steps. Which is set the individual goals and action plan, and the second one is make personal goals for development. Set the individual goals and action plan are the individual objectives of each member when it comes to work. So if I'm a member of IGV sales, what is my individual objective when it comes to work? So how many opens do I need to deliver before I end my experience in this team? So it's very important to actually make sure that members are the ones that are talking about this, and it's not you as the team leader that is downscaling what members should have, because this way they will have much more ownership for what they are saying. And the second part, which is the make personal goals for development, we're going to discuss about, okay, so I'm in Isaac, and it's not only about work but also about how I'm going to use this experience to develop myself. One thing very important about this part is that usually when you talk about development, it's hard to understand if the members are telling things that are actually matching with what they really want for their experience, or they are just saying things that come to their mind. So make sure that you build a space in which they can actually reflect on what they want for their experience. So you can use the 3 most important questions or other guiding questions that can drive them to actually think on their development, and then how can Isaac impact on this development. Make sure that for both of these items, so set the individual goals and action plan and make personal goals for development, you are leaving this space with clear goals. So these things cannot be blurry or abstract. They need to have clear goals and objectives and a way of knowing if the member achieved or not. How you can implement these things? You can do a 1 team meeting in order to work on the whole plan part, and 1 individual meeting with each member to do the 2 steps for personal goal setting. So this means that in 1 team meeting and 1 individual meeting with each of the members, you can for sure implement this part of the team standards. I hope you liked it. I hope you understood everything. But if you have any doubts, please approach me on the email and we can talk about it. Thank you.